Go into game 1/game 4, whatever. Game 1 of the grand finals of the championship match for Epic versus TSM. Guys, if you want to cheer for Epic, who are currently up 1-0, or sorry, I guess up 2-1 in this series so far, let me hear a cheer for Epic in the crowd and at home.
Not too bad.
All right, and if you want Team Solo Mid to take this one over, they've got to get a couple more wins than Epic has. They've got to get it pretty hard to make this one happen. But if you want TSM to take this one over and win the championship, let me hear you guys in the audience.
Got a little cowbell in there.
A little cowbell. Cheer for everything. Or at least the fever.
So it looks like Epic has pushed up for a little bit of aggression here in the beginning of the match. We do have pings coming out from TSM's side near that Wraith, but it doesn't look like any action is going to be happening. That might be their next area for a CV. X-Special playing a little dangerous here as he's checking the jungle with Chaos. They're going to go ahead and fire off some Mystic shots in. And we do have one backing already. I believe that is going to be West Rice. He's going to start heading down bottom lane. Very smart idea. Wants to get there as soon as the creeps do. And we could see TSM up top take these golems as well. Will they be switching up the meta here? Are they going to leave their AD and healer top? It looks like it.
Yeah, that actually looks, yeah, Soda and Ezreal staying up there. Pulse Fire Ezreal, oh man. But I just want to point out, no one so far in this tournament has actually pulled a double lift yet. No one's been face checking brushes and dying before minions spawn. So I gotta say, Epic has made some improvements since double lift has left their lineup. So you know, it's allowed them to not give away first blood, as Lee said.
Moving on, Golem. Blue has been.
I think that was a fling.
There. Yep, they did just fling it. And he's going to get away. There is no smite for Dan. That's why they did such a hard leash. He did take that blue Wraith from TSM's side, so he's going to be rolling through with that. Nice grab on the blue. Quite high health as well. And it looks like Dyrus, I think they might have seen, I don't know, is he going to go middle again? Yes, he is. They switched up the mid lane, Zillion to go top, and it's going to be, top lane is going to be the mid lane for this one. So Rainman on Yorick and Dyrus on Singed are going to be mid laning as your AP carries are the ones top. Yes, he is already laughing. Wow.
Oh, Dyrus. Alrighty, the bot lane though going to be default this time around. West Rice and Yet Win taking actually a lot of damage here. Early aggression from Chaos and Special happened to work out quite nicely. See if that pans out well for them or not.
Wow, Salsi taking a lot of early damage. He's forced to use those health potions, and looks like Rise actually grabbed boots, mana, and 1 health, or 2 health rather. He hasn't used one of them. So he will have a little bit more sustain on that lane. Going out for another attack here. The bomb goes out, but he does have him down to 130. Very nice try there. 230, I should say. Each one of those green health tick bars is 100 HP.
Yep, and he's broken the 300 barrier now as well. Salsi getting himself back up, but only 1 potion away.
A little bit of aggression mid there. We did see Rammus come out, a little back and forth as Maokai Oddone also returns to his jungle to grab the blue, as we've seen Oddone doing before. He goes through, grabs the smalls, goes back and comes back out into his jungle, now grabbing his buffs to head out into lane.
Yeah, a little bit of poke onto Nyet as well, but he's going to be okay. Salsi is pretty healthy at this point. He probably just rely on base health regen and kind of make it up there. See if Reginald pushes through for anything or not. He's going to stay back last hit with auto attacks. Looks like the wave is going to push towards him. So Salsi, though, with no ward coverage, you can see the ward coverage non-existent at all. Just a clairvoyant sees that red has not been taken. Solo Mid also no ward coverage, just the back here.
Rammus ball down bottom. Yep, he is going for it. Arcane shift out. He flashes in, goes for the taunt, but he gets the flash after the taunt. I thought he shifted, but he used that first. And they are going to get the dazzle down. The attack from Vayne. Will the third Silverbolt hit? He exhausted him, but it is not going to be enough. True damage is going to fire right through that. And your first blood goes on to Chaos down bottom. That was West Rice at 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, it was almost a mistake there as well from Tarek. You saw his flash was up. Maybe he was waiting on the dazzle cooldown. I'm not sure, but he kind of saw him chasing. No one got in range. He's like, okay, fine. I guess I'll flash. It just happened to work. They were almost in turret range, though. It was pretty dangerous there. But an excellent first blood picked up by Epic. They're, I mean, that's the funny thing, too, is Ward's not going to cover you coming from behind the turret and is powerballing all the way through. And oh my gosh, sorry guys. Odd One ganks top, picks up Salsi. My bad, I was talking about a gank, and a good second blood going there for, looks like Reginald getting the kill there.
Looks like they are going to push that. They will not choose to push the tower. They don't know where Dan is, and it looks like he's going to be coming up quite fast here. Looks like Dyrus moving around the backside. He's going to go in a little bit of a troll fling here. Decides not to. Going to go ahead and poison his lane. That's going to push it quite fast. He's not really worried about it, though. He wants to pick up all this. He sees Rain Man going back. That's his cue to probably do the same thing.
Yeah, he's forcing Rain Man to try to survive at his turret without mana, which is going to make it a little bit difficult for him. You see, he's still doing a pretty good job of this, but yeah, his mana bar just empty, and you can see one minion. Now, oh no, he's going to last with that with spells. Yeah, he's actually missing a few minions because of this, so this is smart by Dyrus. He's going to go and take the Wraith camp over. This is really smart. This is something that Dan likes to do, is say, look, I'm not the carry, my teammates are. I'm the tank. They can take my minions all day. I will never take their farm unless they recall. And it's just good to see that the jungler playing selflessly and Dyrus getting some extra minions out of it. You can see 45 minions to York's 35. He's significantly ahead in gold because of this, partially this selfless play.
Yeah, and we see from that little thing going on down bottom, Kaox went down. He did have to go back and buy another Doran's. He got himself a ward to help out Xpecial as well. But Westrice not really going for too much damage, had the Doran's, went for those Berserker Greaves and health pots. So those Greaves are going to help out Westrice's passive to chase an enemy faster as he is viewing them, as well as that attack damage, the speed. And as we go actually up top, Rain Man takes a bomb from Salsi. And it looks like they will be pushed off here. Odd One and Rain Man could actually take this into their favor in a 2v1. That ulti is going off right now for Dyrus. That's going to give him HP and a good amount of movement speed. And a few other base stats. But as we go back down bottom, I was saying to Westrice, that the Berserker Greaves is really how Vayne scales. That speed, attack speed, is how Vayne scales off her damage. As much as she can proc that Silver Bolt, she doesn't have to worry about getting too much early damage.
Wow, and Dyrus even saying LOL in chat with his laugh spam. Doing all right here. Needs to catch up with these minions. Getting hit pretty hard by the Rain Man. You can see his health bar actually plummeting a little bit. He's got to be afraid of this harassment. Actually, with Rain Man having a Tear the Goddess, can just keep spamming, and Dyrus, you know, it's going to hurt him a little bit. As the levels kind of grow, you can see Dyrus actually really getting pushed around now. He's able to kill off the ghouls, but his health bar just going down over time. He does have good ward coverage. That jungler cannot get in. It's not a Ramus, so that ward is going to be enough warning. Still 1-1 the kills, but the gold actually in solo mid's favor. They are out farming in the lanes in general.
Now I know Dyrus runs those some dodge runes on his Singed as well as speed. Dodge, I believe, seals, and then he runs speed quints. But the majority of this team is not attack damage. They are magic. It's going to be Maokai, Rise, and as well as Rain Man. So I don't know if those are going to help him out too much.
He's going to get a lot for the Nimbleness Mastery. This is the previous patch, the Nirvana patch, so Nimbleness still in the game right now, but York is pretty AD heavy. He's going to probably go Manamune and use those basic attacks. The ghouls, when they swing, do physical as well, so there's some decent physical damage out there, and he just wants those dodges to run around the map a little bit faster. A mage like Rise won't really stick onto Singed. You know, he's got low enough cooldowns that, yeah, you might throw the first set of spells there at the Singed or at a tank, but your cooldown's going to come right back in 2 seconds, and then you're going to choose probably a more high priority target. So Dyrus, not too afraid of magic damage, and probably for good reason.
We're going to go down bottom. We see Maokai kind of creeping up here. The Odd One positioning himself to come around the backside or flash over the wall and Twisted advance in. He's actually in that fiddle spot, if you will, ready to pounce over the wall. And we do see the Condemn back onto Kaox. Looks like they're pushing this lane that seems like to back, but there's a minion wave right there, so they'll probably stick with.
Dyrus behind the turret, really hurting the Rain Man now. He's making the Rain Man lose out actually on a lot of golden experience because he's got to run away from his turret and go push around Dyrus. And wow, Dyrus also taking out some golems. Just exceptional play there as the Clairvoyance reveals that, yeah, well, Team Solo Mid is taking the golem. Dyrus, you're fine here. Don't worry about it. Go troll some more minions. And that's what's happening here. He's pushing them down.
Yeah, he's doing a very good job, as you said, feeding the minions into that turret. Dyruses are not making it to his lane, so every wave that comes off of the Epic side is going right into the turret for Rain Man. Not very helpful for him. Maokai enters back into the jungle. We see a power ball from Dan Din, bottom lane. Do they have enough to get away? It's going to be the focus onto Sona and the taunt, the Condemn into the wall, and that will be enough. Very nice job there. He will face off against Kaox, even with his ulti on. The Rain Man coming in quite quickly with teleport. Will they be able to grab Westrice? It looks like he's going to be able to easily get away, but not win. May be that final target, and he does go down. Salsi coming around from the backside as Reginald coming from mid takes him down all the way. Westrice is living with a sliver of health, and Salsi will be the last and final of those 3 to go down. The odd one falls to the true damage of Ignite, and we will see a very nice 3-to-1 take by TSM, and most likely this turret.
Yeah, well, 3-2 overall. They did get a special right at the beginning, but the amount of mobility from solo mid, the jungler came down, Reginald came from mid, and the Rain Man came down from the top with teleport, doing an exceptional job there. Dyrus actually choosing to not use his teleport. His is up, but he said, no, I'm going to farm. You might take a turret, or at least a dragon in this case. Really good choice there to take dragon. He's going to keep farming, but I don't know. I feel like if he had teleported in, he could have pushed the Rain Man out, maybe pushed him into the turret instead, and done some good things for his team. So I'm a little bit surprised with that.
Yeah, that's actually very smart that they took Dragon, because now they continue their laning phase down bottom, and they have a place to farm still, especially for their AD. So that was absolutely an amazing move.
Yeah, absolutely the case. Dyrus, first one to 100 minions at 103. Certainly a contender for the richest champion in the game. 3,000 gold right there. No, actually, Vayne's still ahead because of the kills, especially with First Blood. So individually, there's a lot of high gold champions there for Epic, but wow, 3,600 on that Ezreal for solo mid. And because of those objectives and because he's been in so many of those kills, solo mid building a small advantage so far.
So it looks like Ezreal did go for the Wriggles, trying to sustain himself in lane. And I believe it will be the Bloodthirster for Vayne. We'll have to see what she decides to build. She already is doing a lot of damage. Really wouldn't need that top end critical from the Infinity Edge at this point. She's just doing enough of that burst, her condemn, slaughtering people against the wall, and that's when she can just proc those silver bolts. We'll see what she has leveled so far. She actually has 4 into condemn, getting that cooldown up quite a bit, so she can continuously do it. Able to displace somebody like Chaos is very big. That arcane shift puts him close, and Vayne's passive only works when you're running at a champion, not when you're running away, so that condemn will help her to continuously kite Ezreal.
Yeah, it's very, very smart. And I actually really like the condemn choice. You're right for pointing that out. That's because of the Taric lane, because they know they can go up to one target, hit that Shatter or reduce the armor, and then have Condemn hit right now for 360 damage. That is so much damage for 12 minutes into the game. And it's only going to get higher as the Bloodthirster goes up there, now putting a point in tumble, actually leaving Silver Bolts low level, and just really going for the cooldowns mobility and this giant Condemn hits. Makes a lot of sense, honestly.
Dyrus pretty farmed up top now, not really taking too much damage anymore. Did go for the Catalyst to protect her, so he will be giving himself a little bit of mana and health per level. That'll be very nice for him to sustain in lane. Mid lane doing pretty well. Let's see how they are faring against each other. 55 creeps on the side of Saucy, 73 for Reginald. He's doing a very good job. That playing to the fact that, you know, Reginald followed Saucy out of the lane one time, was able to get that kill and get back to his lane. So there's obviously going to be an advantage in Reginald's favor, playing very well there. And to point out that he followed Saucy down for that fight was very good as well. Following your lane is always a good thing to do. You don't want to leave a lane in a 4v1 or 4v2 situation. You want to be able to help everybody out.
Bot lane still a little bit aggressive. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, trying to get away.
Wow.
I think Special and KX both low. Clairvoyance is it, sees that people aren't too low, but Reginald's saying, guys, I'm coming, let's do this.
TP in from Dyrus down bottom. He's going to keep running. He will get rune prisoned here, which will stop him, but only for a second. He can easily take the damage from 3 of them for quite a good amount of time, especially with his ulti on. There's the flip. Special goes down, and he gets prisoned up again, and that will be the one he needs to take. Like I said, he really was not worried about the damage he would be taking, played that calm, cool, and collective, and just said, hey, Sona, let me put you over my shoulder.
Yep, and the Rayman making a good choice here. He says, well, I'm going to trigger my ultimate, put my clone in there, and push down your turret, and that will be what happens. Of course, Singe doesn't care much for turrets, so it won't really affect his farm at all. York, very safe as well. I'm actually going to send Vayne up there, try to take up the golden experience for these minions. But yeah, they traded a kill for a turret, and that's kind of what happens when, you know, he kept that teleport available, and he used it and got a kill off onto Sona for it. Got to kill himself onto Dyrus, that singed.
Looks like Westeros will be building that fast Bloodthirster. He's going to pretty much the same cost as that Wriggles, as we said before. Nice build. He did go for boots first, so he didn't have that attack damage item right away. As we said, he was doing pretty good damage in the beginning. Looks like, I believe Blue was not there. Oh, no, yeah, Blue did grab Blue, yep. So they just gave it to Saucy, so we are going to see Reginald head over there, grab their Blue. Lanes are now in mid, both have that buff. They're going to be pretty much just spamming spells left and right because of that mana regen and cooldown that they get. everybody just kind of slowly pushing their lane. You can see that TSM down bottom could be doing damage to that turret just a few seconds ago as the minions were a little bit farther up, but they're still choosing not to, keeping that lane in their favor so they can keep farming. They're going to back off and not try to do the damage here. Wow, Dan coming around, goes for the Powerball, but nobody's really there to help him. I think he's just going to throw this one down for himself. Throws on the Tremors, and he may just take out Xpecial here. Doing a great job not getting in close enough, and they go for the Dazzle onto Chaos. That easily could have been a flash onto Xpecial. That may have been the wrong choice, and this one gets turned around. Epic now in a pretty bad position here. The Maokai ulti goes down 20% less damage on the initial attacks, and they are going to drop West Rice in a second. 5 down bottom for TSM. The turret's down. Salsi is still there with the blue buff. Who is going to be able to pick that up? And it is going to be going to Yorick. Rainman picks himself up a buff as well, and Reginald also still has his.
Wow, excellent by TSM. 4 kills in a row. The teleport from the Rainman was perfect. The team fight was awesome. It was a nice try by Dan. Came in there, dropped Xpecial extremely low, made him burn Flash, then he burned Crescendo as well. But they still were able to push through, and that was an excellent job by them.
This will be a very nice job. They did just take down 2 turrets. That's 300 gold in their favor, but Dyrus is going to do what he can to bring back 150 of that right now, trying to push that top lane. And it looks like he's actually going to leave the turret up as well.
Next minion wave should be able to take it down for free, I think, though. He's really just focusing on clearing these out. The minions are going to keep doing damage there. He wouldn't do it if he didn't want the lane to push. Yep. It may or may not fall, but he's really trying to just take all these other resources away. He knows the turret can fall eventually. Certainly the 150 gold could help someone finish an item sooner. In some ways it might be better to finish it, but right now he wants Reginald. And the push is in. There's the goo. The prison is on Salsi. That's going to hurt a little bit. Ignite's there as well. Dyrus has not flung Reginald in. He's getting prisoned again. And here comes the rest of that team. Dyrus needs to be afraid. He's ulted, still trying to run, but the CCs are pretty massive there. And Dyrus actually does go down. 4 members of solo mid just able to collapse and kill these champions. That is 5 straight unanswered kills. Salsi right now needs to be afraid as well.
Yeah, this could be pretty big for TSM, actually. Not a big a minion wave, though. They do flash over the wall. He was doing wraiths, and they catch Dan off guard, taking out Rammus as he is trying to get those resources out of his jungle. Oh, my, wow. West Rice just misses Rainman walking through that bush. So, again, another turret, and now Dragon as they go ahead and focus on mid here. The saplings go out. Salsi cannot get too close, and he is forced to back up a little bit. Only a little bit, little damage taken there. And they are going to be getting another 150 gold. 17 minutes into the game, they have a 7,000 gold advantage.
And this is actually phenomenal by TSM. That 7,000 gold advantage you just said, that is massive. That is so much at this stage in the game. They're really building themselves up for a great lead right here. And it seems that the Zillion choices have not gone well almost this entire tournament. Now, we did see it go well in Game 3 for Epic against TSM in the winner bracket finals. And that did result in a win for them. But now it seems like it's not quite standing the test of time. And that TSM are learning how to abuse some of these champions. TSM now twice in a row have abused an early Zillion in getting them killed right away. Both times you see Zillion die 1 or 2 times before level 6. And then whenever he leaves lane to go help out, we saw Reginald had chased him down as Rise. As he came down bottom right here, just picked him up. He got exceptionally low. Forced to use his revive almost right away, and then only traded kills.
You know, the way things have been happening in that Zillion pick, it just seems like people are now, when it goes on, they have the tankiness, they have the time and the team positioning to just wait for it to wear off. And it almost seems like it's not really helping that much. It's almost like you have to place that ultimate on as a last hit when your teammate's about to die. So that's kind of a tricky thing there. Oh, he gets stopped down.
Wow.
His teleport expended there, and it looks like he's going to try to get out of this one. The Twisted Advance goes on. He has the movement speed to get out of this one quite easily. I don't think he's too worried, but he is going to have to dodge a few TSM members to do so. It looks like he's just going to go all the way around and head into the other part of the jungle. Looks like Dyrus is going to be fine. And Vayne down bottom. It looks like they're doing a good amount of damage here. Rainman getting caught up. That is going to be his ghost, though, and not doing too much more damage. A very nice job in a 3v1 situation, forcing Rainman to use his ultimate. They're able to take that down, and this will possibly be a turret for them if they're not required in middle too quick.
But they are pushing, so this is a great counterattack by solo mid. They're constantly good at saying, okay, well, the turret, well, we're going to get a turret as well. Oh, you're gonna gank? Well, we're going to gank harder or kill a turret or take Dragon or anything else. And actually, Epic are pushing back. Now they're going to leave West Rice there to go for it, and he is staying.
Yeah, that's a good amount of damage on a turret as well. I thought it would have taken him a little bit more, but that's easily enough time to get back, help out his team. He did just lose Dyrus and Nyut down bottom, so he's going to go back as well. No reason to stay there. Looks like he will be able to finish his Bloodthirster as we head over. He does have 1,600 gold, so that'll be a finished Bloodthirster. And we'll have to see what else he comes out with. Into lane after that. We do see everybody kind of congregating in mid here. Sona goes back up, looking to place some wards most likely.
Yep. Right now you get to see the stats of the various champions throughout this game. See what Reginald's got. Up to 2,800 mana. It's pretty good right there. He's going to do a lot of damage to those overloads. 8% of that's going to turn into just significant damage on those spells. Adding up over time.
Let's see, blue buff is down right now for Epic. They're kind of just clearing out everything they can about their jungle. And they have good vision right at the entry to their jungle on both sides. They have pretty good vision. The one at Wraiths actually just wore off. So they're going to have to get that deck back down quite soon. You can see it wore off, and then they threw down that CV, making sure nothing was coming in there and nobody knew the timing of that. We can see Nyut on that Oracles. And head over to TSM side. It is Odd1 again, who has picked one up for them. He does see that ward, and they're going to be clearing now. It looks like they're getting quite aggressive on these objectives. They're quickly clearing wards and quickly getting more vision on the map so that they can have the advantage here if they want to go for this. Look at all those wards right up. There's actually one sapling, one ward, and then another one just to the left, right up towards Baron. Very good coverage.
Tons of vision for Solomon. They've even got the dragon and their own blue covered as well. So they're doing an excellent job of seeing everything on the map. Ouch. Epic's vision is a clairvoyance. And yet does have oracles, though. He's going to clear out some of these wards here.
Nice.
TSM's nearby, though. They could catch him out if he goes for another clear. They will not. I think he knows better than that.
Yeah,
Westrice, though.
Oh, wow. Westrice activating the ulti. Oh, he is forced to push away. As all he saw right there in that part of the bush, it kind of doesn't branch all the way to the other side. You have a bit of a jutted vision there, and you can see more down than you can see more up. He saw only Reginald. In 1v1, Westrice could have taken down Reginald, especially with the spell or the health steal that he has. But he saw Chaox and Xpecial both come around the corner. So wasted ulti, but he did get himself out safely. And here we go for Baron.
Yep. And they've been spotted, and they have decent ward coverage, so both teams know what's going on. The teleport comes in from the Rain Man. Dyrus has his as well. They will be pushed back. TSM not going to press in, but they're going to catch up on the Dan. He's got Powerball, a defensive ball curl. They're taking a lot of damage onto him. That's the right play for Dan to just be in the front there, taking all that pain. The odd one drops almost immediately. That will be a death thanks to Westrice. Now Salsa getting pushed away. He will not revive in time.
Wow.
Chaos, though.
Westrice left to just shoot so many people on the outside. They're still not focusing. A sliver of health for Westrice dives away, and they continue to stay alive. Dan Din, the tankiest tanks of tanks, stays alive, and it looks like Dyrus may be the one to go down in this situation, but all for good. 3-2. I believe Epic will take that.
And that
or
was
TSM will take, yeah, Epic rather.
Yeah, no, Epic took the win, 3-2 there. That was excellent play there. I'm surprised Chaox didn't actually die there. That might have been like the ghost of Chaox, which makes sense now. I saw a thing with Chaox's name bar die, but that was the Yorick ghost, so excellent by TSM there. They managed to push that one through, and of course, they are creative push. They're going to get a turret. Despite losing the fight 3-2, they lost the fight with high health on those last two, and they are able to get a turret out of it. And I'll take a turret for -1 champion kill. That seems good to me. So TSM doing some good work there. But Dan Din, he played really excellently there. He really, really did, because he ran in there and he tanked the enemy team for like 5 seconds. Like, guys, let's just fight. Let's just fight. It's cool. I got ball curl. Let's go. Come on. Come on. And he actually maxed ball curl first to be that big tank. He maxed it over puncturing taunt because he wanted that giant armor MR buff, and that helped quite a bit there. That was actually very significant in that battle.
Yeah, it did good. I actually thought he was caught a little too far out with that many people. To be able to just come down on your tank at once is quite scary. But like you said, maxing that W first really helped to keep alive there. He does, I believe, has his smite up for this. So he's right on the outside waiting to make that happen. The Shurelya's goes off and they stop doing Dragon for the initiation. This is going to be a fast one. They try to take out Nat. He does go down first. The focus is now onto Westrice as they push him out of the fight. The odd one, however, taking a lot of damage, and that was one Rune Prism. And it is going to be Westrice falling. A beautiful focus here by TSM after activating the Shurelya's. Dyrus trying to do the damage with his poison. He does have the ulti on, and like I said, they just stop attacking that person. They have enough time to wait for him to go down, and the Zillion ulti just not seeming as good as it was before in these fights.
Yeah, he was actually out of position slightly on West Rice. I checked. He was so West Rice died, and of course they're going to go for Baron, but West Rice died right here, and Zillion was in the brush, and he walked up and over and did not get the chrono shift on in time. And then he's like, okay, well, I guess I'll hit it on Dyrus, and they ignored Dyrus and killed Salsi. And that was actually pretty marvelous. But yeah, Salsi managed to get himself away from Vayne just ever so slightly too far. And that would have probably been the difference in that fight, as Dyrus was putting out so much damage, was incredibly tanky, and he had to add in a little bit more DPS for that Vayne, and you would have had a much better game. But TSM in commanding lead of this game 4. Again, the series is counted as 2-1 in a best of 7. Best of 7. TSM, if they win this, will tie it up 2-2. And then it will be as if the slates are wiped clean and there's a new BO3 in front of us. TSM needs this game, and they need 2 more after this.
West Rice doing as much as he can to farm that Bloodthirster back up. Ezreal is going to have that consistent damage. If West Rice goes down, he needs to get himself back to that point. He was just fighting with a full Bloodthirster, and he came out very big for his team in a few fights there. 3, 2, and 5 already, grabbing up assists as well as kills. Another 1,000 gold under his belt there. So we'll have to look over here. Ezreal, he does have, he has 2,000 more gold accrued than Vayne does. So Chaos doing a very good job of keeping his farm on. He has 4, 1, and 10. So those assists really piling on the gold for him. And his build is going to be more consistent damage in that fight. So we're going to have to see how that plays out if Ezreal is left alone for this next battle.
Yeah, absolutely true. The Rain Man up to level 16, leaving that queue for last. Has his Atmog's finish as well as that Manamune, so he is putting out some significant damage here. Atmog's even almost full on the Warlock's armor. Special support, of course. Get himself a couple of stats. And they're going to push through, get another turret. It's going to be the 6th turret kill. All the added turrets are about to fall, and TSM always winning in turrets early on. I need a new acronym, dear forums / Reddit / other communities. Find me an acronym for TSM that starts with turret. Turret slaying master, something like that. There's someone that's up there, and it really just kind of, it embodies how their team plays. It's worth doing, trust me, you should do it.
Nice ward clearing by Maokai. They are pressuring a lot on this top lane. They do have a minion wave again coming right behind them. Their mid is pushed up quite well. They could have a teleport down bottom if Dyrus wanted to try to go for something. Right now they need that tankiness at the base. You can see that Dyrus has that Rylus. He's going to be slowing quite a lot, especially as he throws down the ooze. And he's also going for that life belt, so more HP for him. You have Nyut going for those GP10s as well as movement speed. He went for mobility boots so he can get those dazzle on.
Indeed, Dyrus in the front again. TSM's ability to kite back and forth between these lanes.
As you said, there's the Frozen Heart. Yep, right on Rise.
Yeah, exceptionally strong there. And Sona Slang of Celerity, of course, helping that quite a lot. They've got Shirley's to initiate, and they're still just doing damage to these turrets. And wow, Dan got hit hard before they could do anything about this. Not enough sustain on that turret to keep him from getting pushed back. And with that, TSM will dive onto the turret. They will not get stopped.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be able to take this inhibitor. They do not. The minion wave is quite close. However, the rest of Team Epic is going to be at full force since they are all just coming off the fountain. There's a little bit of a slowdown from Dyrus. He's just trying to put a poison wave right in front of the turret so they can walk into it. But they're going to go ahead and back. Maybe just push this lane. They still have Baron. Really no reason to go back and get buys in right now. They have full health. Special doing a great job of keeping everybody topped off. There's a bit of an initiation, but not too many cooldowns used. Not enough to initiate fully here. And they are going to have to give up another turret. Maokai laying down that ultimate, reducing the damage that they're taking. Very nice job. It has a very low cooldown, so he's not too worried about that. Also, as we said, as they use those bigger spells, it can create an initiation, but for him to be able to throw that down so often, or Ezreal to throw out a true shot barrage, isn't a reason that Epic would want to initiate. So they have a few of those things they can use in their favor to really get their push without putting themselves in a dangerous position.
Yep, TSM just 2 inhibs and then back. Dragon is up, and that's a great choice as well. They're just constantly taking these big map objectives. You can see they're up almost 10,000 gold now, and that is an amount you really cannot ignore if you're Epic right now. Chaos is in excellent shape right now. 203 attack damage. See, maxing everything but Essence Flux. That was the last one there.
Last Whisper purchased. Very nice.
Yep.
Oh, and the elixirs, red and green. Very nice.
Yeah, he's got a lot of attack. You can see his stats here. 24 lifesteal. The armor pen still at 21. The 40% from the last Whisper. 220 attack damage. 1.3 attacks per second, and even a little bit of crit chance here. Quarter of the time is going to crit for double damage. That seems pretty decent too.
Looks like everybody's just grabbing up the mobs right now inside the jungle, making sure those camps are down. It is 30 minutes into this matchup. I believe we just saw Dragon taken within the last minute, so it's going to be around 36 minutes, 35 minutes. Yeah, bottom lane going to be forced out here. It looks like Singed, or Dyrus doing what he can down bottom. And he's pushed up as far as he wants to. He does see them, and he's not going to back in that bush anymore. He's going to go ahead and go back to base. He's going to say, I think we need to stay here for a second. We'll see what he may be buying as we look into the pockets of Dyrus. And he does have 500 gold, not too much. Maybe going for some magic resistance. But it looks like he may be building that Sunfire cape up. He does have the armor and the Giant's belt. Another push down bottom, Freak. So much aggression from TSM, and their Baron has worn off here.
Yes, indeed. They're going to push on through Reginald, really playing aggressively, trying to push down on Dan. Look at that. Damage output is really, really strong. Dan's going to push through, and here comes the battle. Rayman's been taunted up in the front. Ezra with a great ult, and Yut Wing going to draw almost immediately. Dan dropping as well. 2 for nothing. Wester's going to revive, but it's not really going to matter too much. Reginald in the front there.
Oh, no, be careful.
Yep, going to revive him. Okay. Saucy's still up, but they're just inside the base. Instant death on the West Rays. TSM almost certain to take this game at this point. Going to push through onto the Nexus turrets. 3 dead, 4 dead if you count the Zillion revive. And this is going to be a dead Nexus. TSM going to win Game 4 of the Extended Series. Next team to win 2 games will be the champion right now. But it's 2-2 in this best of 7. 2 wins to go for either side, and we'll see how this goes. Stay tuned. Of course, we have at least 2 more games coming up. Maybe 3. TSM is equalized.